It's not a typology. It's about what you do, not who you are.
Our words and thoughts are so powerful. I always say that the
Very.
universe has ears and it's listening to everything that you say and everything
That's
you
right.
do.
We all think that we personally are making our own decisions, but in fact, an awful lot of our decisions are being made by our patterns.
So can you break down the 5 different personality patterns for us?
Sure. The main thing to understand about these 5 patterns is that they arise out of 5 different safety strategies that a person can use. When you're very young, especially if you're a baby or even if you're still in the womb, you can't really do much physically to try to protect yourself. If some big energy comes at you, you can't do much on the physical level. You don't even when you're 2 and 3 and 4, you don't have much yet in the way of psychological defenses. What you can do is move your attention. You can move your attention and therefore move your life energy one place or another to try to buffer yourself from the difficulty. So the 5 different ways of moving your attention are: you can move it away, you can leave the scene, and that might be leaving your body. It might be physically getting up and leaving the room, but it's somehow just getting away from whatever is disturbing you, distressing you. The second one is that you move towards the person that is upsetting you or towards a person in that scene. You try to connect with them. You try to get them to help solve your problem. So it's a connect, reach out, appeal for help kind of strategy. The third one is you pull your energy in and you send it down in your body, down into the ground below you so that you can kind of hide. You can hunker down, you can let the storm blow over, you can just basically endure what's going on. So you don't completely leave this scene, but you hunker down and you try to just endure it. Number 4, you do the opposite. You pull your energy up in your body. You try to get as big and strong and intimidating as possible and control the other people, dominate the other people. Now, this is pretty hard to pull off when you're 1 year old, but it's an attention-moving strategy. And the 5th one is that you contract your body and your energy body to try to control the flow of life energy through the middle of your body so you don't feel as much, and so you can be a good boy or a good girl and follow the rules, and mom and dad will still love you. That's known as the rigid pattern. So the 5 patterns are named for the safety strategies that they use. So the first is the leaving strategy, get out of here. The second is merging, move towards the other person. You can also think of that as connecting. Third one is enduring. You pull in, go down. 4th one is aggressive, get big. Think Arnold Schwarzenegger here. 5th one is the rigid pattern. You contract, and you literally, you get more rigid in your thinking and your feeling and your way of understanding the whole world. So does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know which one I am. So how can we, do most people know straight away which one they are? And if they don't,
No,
how do we identify it?
Well, obviously everybody's first question is, what am I?
Yeah.
And the question, in a way, arises from our familiarity with the Enneagram and the Myers-Briggs and other ways of understanding people that are typologies, that say you are a type, and you are this type, birth to death, this is the essence of who you are. This is different. It's not a typology. It's about what you do, not who you are. So this is what a person does in distress. Who you are is your presence. So you can think of this in terms of, you're probably familiar with lots of spiritual teachings that talk about the real self versus the false self. So the real self, or your presence, is who you are, any of these safety strategies buffers you by taking you away from your real self, by taking you away from presence so that it doesn't hurt so bad. So the way you figure out what you do, and a person typically does two of these strategies to try to buffer themselves. First one, and if that's not working, then the second. The way you figure out which ones you do is you watch yourself as you shift from feeling safe, happy, contented, peaceful, everything is fine, to a little annoyed, a little frustrated, a little, not okay, and then a little more okay, not okay, a little more distressed, a little more, whatever. As your level of distress goes up, you can watch what happens in your body, what you do, what you think, what you say, to try to buffer yourself. And for most people, as they first discover this, they discover that these strategies are so automatic, so like conditioned into the body, so habitual, so just happens. No pause, no thought, I just do it. That they think of it as, that is who I am. I mean, if you talk to people, they'll say, well, that's just the way I am. And some people literally live their whole life stuck inside one pattern or maybe both their patterns and not able to come out and be present much at all. And they will even argue with you and say, no, this is who I am. This is really who I am. Because it feels that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I might be the one that leaves the situation. I think that might be my one.
Yeah, the one that you do.
Yeah, the one that I do, exactly.
Yeah, I typically encourage people to use language of this is what I do instead of this is what I am. Because the language we use matters. And if we say, well, I am a lever, for instance, you're turning yourself into a thing. If you say, when I get distressed, I go into the leaving pattern or I leave, you are naming what you do, but you're not saying who you are.
Exactly. And our words and thoughts are so powerful. I always say that the universe has ears and it's listening to everything that you say and everything you do. And so if you affirm that you are something, that is what the universe will give you.
It's like manifestation.
Yes.
If you say, I'm an ugly bastard, your unconscious thinks, I can do that. I can do that. I can manifest ugly bastard. And, next thing you know, that's how you're acting.
Yes.
Not so useful.
Yeah. So what do we do with this data? Like once we have this data, what do we do from here?
So what's really valuable about this is that it will help you do two things. One is regain control over your own life.
Yep.
Because in fact, until you understand the map of these patterns and which patterns you go into, your patterns are running your life. We all think that we personally are making our own decisions, but in fact, an awful lot of our decisions are being made by our patterns. Like, should I go to that party or not? Should I date this person or not? Should I buy this car or live in this place or should I get this job? A lot of it is determined by patterns. So one big value is you can regain control of your life. The other is when you understand this map of personality, it's like having X-ray vision. And it's like you can see into other people and you can see what's going on inside them and how they got distressed and what they need to come out of their distress. So it will help you interact with other people much more.
And what about
much more skillfully?
What about with children?
Yeah.
Tell us how this, if we see a child going into one of the patterns, how can we help them come back to their true self?
Well, first of all, don't get fooled into seeing them as their pattern. Instead, see them as, okay, I see their true self, and they're now caught in this pattern. But if you can still see their essence, their presence, then they can see it. Because as children, of course, we see ourselves through the eyes of our parents. We see ourselves as they reflect us. So, for instance, say I'm a little boy and I'm growing up with mom and dad, and mom and dad don't know anything about spirit or essence or heart even, and they're really focused on my outside, my behavior. You know, hair combed, stand up straight, good grammar, clean clothes, teeth brushed, right? Then that's how I see myself. I think I am my performance. And the idea that I am my heart doesn't even occur to me. Right?
And what a shame.
And what a shame. Exactly. So seeing the child's real self, seeing their presence, instead of whatever pattern behavior they're presenting, is a tremendous gift to the child. And a tremendous gift to your sweetheart, your brothers and sisters, your coworkers. Because we all want to be seen, but we want to be seen for who we really are.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.